What's up guys, it's Mo, and today we're doing my favorite book recommendations. So today's video was a request from this lovely subscriber right here. For my 100 subscribers, I said suggest some videos and I'll add them to my list of videos that I'm going to be doing. And this was one of them, and I decided to do this one first. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Thank you so much for the suggestion. It is a lovely suggestion and I'm doing it right now for you. I don't know what this was. It was a little weird, sorry. I do have a video titled Unconventional Book Recommendations, and that's just kind of where I recommend a bunch of books that aren't talked about on BookTube a lot. Today is literally just my all-time favorite books. That's how this video differentiates from the other one. I will link that video down below if you want to go check out that one, because some of them I'm going to mention in this video because they are like my favorite books, and some of them will not be mentioned because they're just random favorites instead of actual favorites. So today I have 13 books / series I'm going to be showing you that are my favorite books of all time, and these are not in order. The only one that is in order is the first one because it is my favorite book of all time. And if you are one of my subscribers or if you have seen any of my videos, I probably mentioned it in at least 5 of my videos already. My favorite book of all time is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. I don't have it. Every time I bring it up, I don't have it. I don't know where it is. But here's what it looks like right here in lovely picture form because I have no idea where mine is. This book takes place in Germany in the 1940s for the Second World War, and it takes place from the perspective of a German family, specifically a German girl. This book is the best book I've ever read, ever, in my entire life. It will always be my favorite. The writing is beautiful. Everything about it is amazing, and I highly suggest you go and get it. And the next book I have for you is actually a series because I'm not going to list them all individually because that'd be crazy, and I'm sure you can guess it if you've been watching me for any sort of time at all, and that is the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series by Riordan. This is my favorite book series of all time. Before I read The Book Thief, these were my favorite books of all time. Specifically, The Last Olympian, which is the finale in the series. That was my favorite book of all time before I read The Book Thief. This series is honestly amazing. Everyone's like, ah, Harry Potter, blah, blah, blah. But no one, like, I didn't read Harry Potter when I was younger, which I think is why people like it so much. Like, they grew up with it. That wasn't me. In middle school, I read these babies, and these were my Harry Potter books, I guess. Except they're not, because they're better. I haven't read all of Harry Potter, so I can't really make that claim, but I just really love my Percy Jackson books. The Lightning Thief is missing, so someone must have borrowed it from me. What is this trend of people taking my books? I don't understand. This needs to stop. So this book series follows Percy Jackson, who is a Greek demigod, so he is half god and half human. And he basically goes on lots of quests, and he has to fight evil gods, evil monsters. And there's a prophecy, and it's Greek mythology. Lots of Greek mythology, and if any of that sounds interesting to you, you've probably heard of these. They had 2 really shitty movies. Don't ever watch them unless you just want to laugh your ass off and be so disappointed in the world because Percy Jackson could have been as popular as Harry Potter if it had just been given good, accurate movie adaptations. Or you could do what Riordan does and pretend the movies never happened. That's what most of us do. And so it makes sense to have the next series be the Heroes of Olympus series, also by Riordan, obviously. This is a continuation series of the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, and introduces a lot more new demigods and characters, still Greek mythology obviously, and they are wonderful. This is not the entire Heroes of Olympus series. There are 2 books here that are missing. The first book in the series is The Lost Hero, the second book is The Son of Neptune, then The Mark of Athena, then The House of Hades, and then The Blood of Olympus. But yeah, these books are great. I would read them. I don't know what this accent is. The next series is the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Meyer. This series is a new one I've been introduced to the end of last year, actually, and it is fantastic. There's another one coming out, and it is Winter, and so these are sci-fi fairy tale retellings. Cinder is a sci-fi fairy tale retelling of Cinderella, obviously, and Cinder is a cyborg. Scarlet is the retelling of Little Red Riding Hood with Cinder in there, like, you know, the series connects. It's not like these are all separate standalones. They are a connecting series, and you must read them in order. So Scarlet is Little Red Riding Hood, and then Cress is Rapunzel, and Winter is Snow White. Not only are the covers for this book series super matchy and amazing, but the book series is really good. It's got people living on the moon, it's got a plague in the story. If you're like, Mo, I want to read about some space travel, can you please talk about a book that has space travel in it? these books do have space travel in it. And now it is probably my favorite book of the year, even though I read it in the very, very early months of this year. I still love it more than any book, you know, except for my two faves, of course. And that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This book is fantastic. It is the best book I've read all year. It is amazing. Go buy it. It's so good. If you're like, Mo, I want to read a really cool action-packed novel with a kick-ass female assassin who kicks everyone's asses so well and is so much younger and hotter and prettier than everyone, then don't worry, hun, I got you. This is what you need. Our main protagonist is this super awesome assassin. Her name is Selena Sardathian, and she's fantastic and my best friend now. She's told that the prince wants her to be his champion and fight in the king's assassin battle. It's like a competition to see who will be the king's assassin. So the king can be like, go kill that person, and the assassin will be like, okay, fine, as long as you keep me from going to jail again. The Hunger Games trilogy is one I wanted to mention. Obviously, I don't really think I have to explain the whole plot to you. You probably know it. No, they don't have the covers. They're naked because these are my sister Zoe's books, and apparently she doesn't have the covers for them. She doesn't know where they are, so I get to keep them on my bookshelf naked. So the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins is great, and I love it. And they should not have made Mockingjay into 2 movies. Mockingjay was not exciting enough for 2 movies. It was barely exciting enough for 1 movie. Another series by Rick Riordan I wanted to mention is the Kane Chronicle series. This one's also missing the cover. How typical. I don't have the first 2 books in the series. It is The Red Pyramid. I don't remember the second one's name. It will be written here. And then this last one, which is The Serpent's Shadow. It is a trilogy, and this one is based around Egyptian mythology. So in this Kane Chronicle series by Rick Riordan, instead of the main characters, Carter and Sadie, being children of the gods, like the Egyptian gods, they are instead descendants of Egyptian pharaohs. The Egyptian pharaohs that are their ancestors used to host gods, which is why their lineage is more powerful and they can use magic. They use Egyptian magic. So it is a lot like the Percy Jackson series, and in some ways it's very different from the series. It's really good and I highly recommend you go pick it up. And the next book I have to show you is Heist Society by Allie Carter. This might look like a spy book, but it's more of a con artist book. Kat is a thief and she comes from a family of thieves, and she decided that she didn't want to be a thief anymore, so she conned her way into a boarding school to leave her old life behind. But then she's kind of pulled back into it by her friend Hale, who we don't know the first name of. Hale needs her because her dad has been framed for this con that he did not pull, and some very bad people are coming after her father, and she and all of her friends kind of have to go save them. The next book I have is one I don't have again, so I'm gonna move over so I can put a picture of it here, but it is To Kill a Mockingbird. This classic is amazing. It's by Harper Lee, and I love it. I used to read it for class one time, and I read it and I completely fell in love with it. I'm not usually a big fan of like the classics that they have you read and everyone says are amazing, because I think that they're usually just trash. This is one that is actually amazing. It's got mystery, it's got some serious themes in it, and it's just really good. And now, of course, the obvious Fangirl mention. This is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and this book is good. The characters are very three-dimensional. They're great and I love them. And it deals with social anxiety. Also, the cover is absolutely fantastic. And this standalone is one that I love a lot, and it is Just Listen by Sarah Dessen. This is definitely my favorite Sarah Dessen novel. I love her books. They're great. The main character is Annabelle, and she is a model in high school, and she is almost raped by her best friend's boyfriend at a party. Annabelle is terrified. She doesn't say anything to anybody, and then she meets this boy named Owen. Now, this is not this boy changed my life. Annabelle gets better on her own. Don't worry, it's not one of those stories. We all know what I'm talking about. Those stories are crap. This book also deals with eating disorders and talks about eating disorders within the modeling community, because her 2 older sisters model, and one of her sisters develops an eating disorder. It's an amazing book and I love it so much. It sounds pretty depressing, but I love it still. And the last book I'm going to show you is a comic book, and that is Ms. Marvel. This is volume 1, No Normal, but I love Ms. Marvel and I love this comic. The writer is G. Willow Wilson and the artist is Adrian Alphona. Kamala Khan is Ms. Marvel, and the reason this is so amazing is because Kamala is a Muslim. Representation in the form of comics, and a female superhero at that. She is amazing. This is just the beginning of her superhero story, and if you like superheroes, if you like any of the Avengers or the Marvel movies or the DC movies or whatever you're into, you will like this, and you better go read it right now. Go buy it. Ms. Marvel is great, and you've probably heard of it being talked about on BookTube a lot, but I need to mention it because I love it so much, and Ms. Marvel is my girl, and I will protect her at all costs. The hype you've been hearing for this book is 100% true. This is amazing. And those are all my favorite book recommendations. I think at the beginning of the video I might have said 13, but I meant 11. I'm sorry, I don't know what I did wrong. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All the stuff the YouTubers say. And I will see you next time in another video. Bye! Is actually a, oh my god, I just lifted this box up and the Titan's Curse just fell on the ground. Great, I really need a haircut. I don't like this length. I don't like it at all. Being like